I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 11. So let's focus on verses 5 through 8. Then the Lord came down to look over the city and the tower that the men were building. And the Lord said, "If as one people, all having the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down there and confuse their language, so that they will not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them from there over the face of the whole earth, and they stopped building the city. Genesis 11, verses 5 through 8. When I was a child, there was no internet. We had very limited access to cable TV, and the information people received concerning the world around us was very limited. And our worldview was filtered through 3 network TV channels and a couple of newspapers and radio stations, a few magazines. That was pretty much it. It never dawned on me that I could write a letter to some other kid in a foreign country. I didn't even know any kids in foreign countries, or even that we could develop a friendship. I heard about other people that did stuff like that. I never would have assumed that I could have communication several times a day, even forming face-to-face, real-time relationships at no expense with people in foreign countries. But the world was very big back then, and the nations and the cultures operated almost completely independent of one another. But today, through satellite communication, wireless broadband internet, our world has become really small. English is the primary language of commerce. eBay is the world's garage sale. Amazon is its vendor, and electronic banking handles all the currency exchanges. So how does the story of Babel apply to our lives today? And by the way, what's so wrong with people sharing the same language and working together? Is society in and of itself evil? As we learned back in Genesis chapter 2, both God and Adam knew that it wasn't good for man to be alone. And man was made to live in community. Community is necessary to us. And furthermore, God blesses our community when our community honors Him. This is a community of necessity. And it's not limited to male-female relationships. It's not good for man to be alone. Here's a woman. But community extends to our children and our friends and family and beyond. You see, the problem arises when men attempt to unite to the exclusion of God. We want to get together and we want to have a common language and common goals and we want to have all these things in unity, but we want to do it without God. Nobody invite God to the party. So in the days of the Tower of Babel, if their designs had not been frustrated, then mankind would have eventually employed their united strength for outrageously sinful purposes, and God knew it just by walking through there one time. And we see this scenario is ultimately played out in the book of the Revelation. And it is developing rapidly in the world culture that we are presently in. All human collaborative effort, divorced from the ultimate goal of acknowledging and worshiping God, is nothing more than collective self-exaltation. Humanism is in essence self-worship. It's idolatry with self-achievement as the idol of our worship. And God says we can't have any of that. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. If you want to know more about the Lord and how to have a saving relationship with Him, check us out at groundworksministries.com.